Hello, and today's review is going to be all about Transformers Generations Thunderwing. He is the newest, I guess, Jets. I don't know if you can consider part of the Secret Collection for the Generations line. Totally new mold, I believe. Very, very cool looking as a Jet. But unlike most Secret molds, he does suffer from the problem of just being a robot with a jet on his back. Because, I mean, his arms are actually right there. And you can see these are where his legs are, sort of chest, and if you just pop this open, there's his head. So, yeah, he does have that problem of all classic jet slash secret figures of being just a robot with a jet on the back. But his jet design, if you look at it from the right angles like this, look very cool. I like his wings, I like his huge guns, and he even comes with a cool little party piece. Just pull this off and he has a little drone that goes out. Unfortunately, this thing doesn't transform on its own. It just kind of looks like that, and for the most part I just leave it up and attached. His colors are alright. Nothing really too vibrant about him. He kind of looks neutral. His colors, again, like not very bright. It's just very subtle. It's not quite white. It's like a darker cream. But yeah. Let's just get him transformed and see his robot mode. So I guess first thing you want to do is... what is the first thing you want to do here? We will open up his wings and fold these ones down. And then from there, you can just fold up his landing gear. You can take this chest piece, or this cover, and pull it down into his chest. And then this whole assembly just pops up. And this back assembly pops up as well. What you want to do is just fold it up like this, and this will lock down to hold it there. Now, it doesn't actually lock down, but the hinge is strong enough that it'll hold it in place. And for the most part, you have him transformed. The only thing left is his legs. They're not that short, so what you gotta do is take his crotch piece and just pull it up, and he's got his legs folded up in there. You just gotta pull them both out with some force, and then you pull it back down. Then he's got these feet. You just separate them. Oh. And turn his arms around. And there you have the Generations Thunderwing. He is a very, very cool looking figure, especially his wing set. I like how they kind of just fold out like that and they make him feel a lot bigger. In terms of his head sculpt, it really reminds me of... it's cool, but it just reminds me of Halloween or a goblin from or the Green Goblin from the Spider-Man series, especially with his sort of greenish reptilian arms and leg color here. I don't know what it is. It just reminds me of like a goblin. He's got these cool orange eyes for good orange light piping. I don't have any way to demonstrate that to you, but it is very vibrant. His feet kind of suck. I mean, I guess I'll start with articulation here. There's really no play in the feet apart from this, and it kind of limits his posability there. He's got a joint at the knee. The waist is on a ball joint. He has no hip movement. His arms are on a ball joint, but because of his huge backpack and this thing here, it's kind of limited in movement. He's got the bicep swivel, a elbow joint, and a wrist swivel, and then his head can only swivel side to side. Nothing really else. So articulation, he is kind of limited, as most Seeker jet figures are. In terms of weaponry, he has two guns, and you've probably spotted them already. They're right here. I'll just pull this off. And this one. And again, you can display his wings however you like, but already you can see that without the giant guns there, he looks a lot smaller. And then it's even more telling when you put his wings down, and then he just looks kind of pathetic. But then you just mount him with his guns, and hopefully that sort of fixed the problem. Oh man, there you go. And so, very cool weaponry. I mean, 2 huge guns for such a small figure. Very, very cool. He looks very good like that. But for me, I don't really like to have him displayed with his guns, because I do like it better when he has the giant wing cape thing going on behind him. I think it just makes his figure look a lot better. So I'll just stand him up again. There we go. In terms of his design, his paint apps, it's kind of boring, to tell you the truth. Again, I don't really like his color. It's not that I don't like it. It's just it's very dull. His main sort of beige white, off-white color is kind of ugly, and then they just threw together a bunch of different colors, like this blue they threw on here that doesn't really happen anywhere else. His feet and his guns match in color, and they're purple, and they're not quite this color blue, but they're just off enough to make it look like it's just 2 random colors, and then they threw in this sort of ugly green that it really doesn't work well with the figure. On top of that, they threw in a different sort of lime green, and then they have the gold. It just seems like a random bunch of paint colors. It's almost like Hasbro thought, we have a bunch of leftover paint, what can we use it on? We'll just throw it in this figure. But I mean, if you like the way it looks, then, that's good for you. Just to me, it looks like a bunch of different random colors. But for display purposes, again, the main reason I don't have him with his weapons is because I just like to have him hold the Matrix. Just like that. And, I mean, that's all there is to it. I think he's a cool figure. A definite pickup at the store. He wouldn't be the first on my list to get, but he'd definitely be on the list to get. But there you have it. Just my thoughts on Transformers Generations Thunderwing. Is that his name? Yeah, Thunderwing.